So another thing I want to explore with you is this question. Come at it from kind of a funny angle. Are you familiar with Esther Perel at all, the relationship expert?
No.
She specializes in thinking about very difficult topics. She's touched, what happens to marriage in a monogamous setting when it feels very constraining. She's touched on infidelity. She's now talking about workplace issues, where she's exploring, sort of forbidden thoughts about what happens in the workplace. And one of the things that she said to me that was very interesting is that she was reconsidering masculinity. And she said that masculinity is clearly an incredibly powerful thing, but that she hadn't appreciated that it is as fragile as it is powerful, that the number of ways of invalidating men is quite high, and that there is some sort of dependence on kind of a bargain in which men tend to be more disposable, particularly in times of war and conflict. Let's be honest about it.
No doubt about that.
And that there is something both extremely powerful but also fragile about the concept of masculinity itself. It's very difficult for us, even in our society, to find things that are wholly positive that we ascribe to the concept of masculinity that we would deny to the concept of femininity. Like, we've gotten to a point where we're just unsure, it would seem, as to whether or not there's a compelling reason for half of humanity. Now, war, of course, is an easy counter to that. But the more distance we've gotten from World War II, I worry that we've forgotten exactly why men exist in terms of their full complement of abilities and skills and functions. Do you think that there's anything to the concept that masculinity may be intrinsically fragile? Like, it's subject to veto. If you say, if you do something that's heroic, let's say, and nobody chooses to acknowledge it, or like, well, you're showing off, it's a very hard thing to protect. Do you detect a crisis in masculinity? That's a big topic. We get a lot of young people who come to some of the shows of the friends of both of ours, and it's very clear that there is this search for how do I make my way as a young man? Are you getting this energy?
Yeah, I don't get a lot of that energy.
All right.
And the reason I don't get a lot of that energy is because, I do what I do. My friends, they do what we do. I think the thing with masculinity is just like everything else. If I take any masculine trait and I take it to an extreme, it turns bad.
It turns toxic.
And I should say traditionally masculine trait. Yep. Because if I take any traditional masculine trait and I take it to an extreme, it turns bad.
Yeah.
The thing is, the masculine traits that we talk about, I have 3 daughters and 1 son. I raise them all the same, and I want them to have the same amount of the masculine traits. Hey, do I want you to be assertive? Yes, I want you to be assertive. That's a traditionally masculine trait. Do I want you to be brave? Yes, I want you to be brave. Do I want you to be stupid and go overboard?
Hopefully that isn't just a masculine trait.
Yeah. We have to check with my wife on that one.
All right.
But So these,
but even those aren't really, I wouldn't say that assertiveness is a masculine trait. I would say we have, our flavor of assertiveness has been traditionally different than the female flavor. But, definitely, I think of my wife as one of the braver people I know, and there's nothing that contradicts the feminine in that, but she doesn't do it the way, let's say, my brother would behave in a brave context. And so the question in some sense has to do with, I give people the puzzle. Name some positive trait that you would associate with masculinity to distinguish it from femininity. There's plenty of things that we say that are feminine that are positive, but there are very few things that we can say are masculine that are positive without an immediate claim that that is as female as it is male.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I'm over here doing what I do. I don't know whether it's considered masculine or whatever, but this is kind of what I do, how I live my life. The people that I know that are men, they all seem kind of similar to me.
Okay.
I mean, not all of them, obviously, because I have friends that are not like me at all. But yeah, I don't know.